Wall-E isn't the only man who's going to be able to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee after this video. My name is Braden, and welcome to Valve Guides. CSGO Empire is the #1 site for fun entertainment in the CS community. Make sure to follow them on Twitter for consistent giveaways, and you can use our code GUIDES to get 50 cents to start playing. Before we get into the video, y'all, we are relaunching Blizzard Guides with an all-new team. Trust me, you're going to love them. And on top of that, we're soft launching our next channel, Battle Royale Guides, in the next couple of days. If you want to be an OG, you can go subscribe to them now before they officially launch. And follow me on Twitter to chill and have your questions featured at the end of each video. In the lower ranks of CSGO, solid movement is something that you don't tend to see very often. Today we're going to be going over 10 tips to help you start improving and be more mindful of your movement and game. Basically, we're going to turn you into Kung Fu Kenny. Tell me something! So starting off with number 10, we have practicing routes. I think we can all agree that getting from point A to point B in the quickest way possible is as basic yet as important as this gets. There's no as the crow flies in CSGO, and there's only certain routes that you can take to get to places. Knowing the quickest or most quiet way to travel any given route is a winner's habit, because really any time you slow down or any obstacle in the way is time wasted. Time is money, you feel? Now that your movement about any route can be as slick and smooth as possible, we have number 9, which is determining optimal routes. And this is really as important as being able to navigate any route as quickly or as quietly as possible, because wherever you are on the map, if you know which route is the quickest, which route provides the most cover, or which route will give you the jump on your enemy, that's really freaking important. So learning to discern which route to take, whether you need to go faster, whether you need more cover, whether you need to be more quiet, and combining this skill with the previous will turn you into a silent, quick killing machine. You're gonna be like Prophet in Crisis.
They called me Prophet. Remember me.
At number 8, we have shifting. Learning when and when not to hold shift is surprisingly tough to learn. And I think this usually happens because when people start learning how to use shift well, they then tend to overuse it. Sometimes the enemy already knows exactly where you are, and just shifting is wasting time. In fact, it's doubling the amount of time that you're wasting. I see this a lot in pro games where I'm watching and I would think I would be shifting right there, but they're not really trying to make an effort to be quiet. And that's because they know that the enemy knows they're right there. On the flip side, in lower ranks, you'll have players that are neglecting to use shift whatsoever. Work on being mindful and being aware of what the enemy does and doesn't know, and act accordingly. At number 7, we have ladder control. Ladders are harder to use well and effectively than many people actually think. There are quicker and safer ways to climb ladders in the game, and learning how to fall onto a ladder while not taking any fall damage and being silent and increasing speed is very important to learn how to do. On top of that, learning how to aim while on a ladder and knowing the difference in accuracy that it makes is pretty useful as well. All of these things are very small but effective in very subtle ways nonetheless. At number 6, we have strafe jumping. Strafe jumping is really the art of not dying. It's a great way to not die. Take for example Dust 2 mid-doors, and strafe jumping to get an eye on the opper makes you a much harder target to hit, and you get to see if you're gonna get hit by 4 ops at the same time.
Your AWPs, Fnatic, they're ready to shoot some ducks as they cross the middle. It's gonna be a challenge, and Apex, not in this lifetime. He is destroyed.
And this really helps with overall comprehension of movement mechanics because it just helps you with the timing of jumping. At number 5, we have learning and reassigning keys, not necessarily in that order. Proper keystrokes and memorization in CSGO is very, very important. In fact, I think pretty much every above average CSGO player has adjusted a lot of the keys to do what they want them to do. Especially for those with extra keys on gaming keyboards, like me specifically, I have a Razer Black Widow Ultimate 2014 or something like that, and I have 5 extra keys on the side that I can assign to do whatever I need them to do. So you can have it switch to whichever grenade you want, whichever gun you want, and reassigning your keys and becoming fluent with their new functions gives you a massive advantage over those who choose not to or are just too lazy to do so. At number 4, bunny hopping. Not gonna lie, this is not the most useful thing in the world, but it will help you master the mechanics though. Bee hopping itself was much more viable than it is now. Currently, it's really too much of a risk to to use very often, but learning the correct timings of strafing and jumping will really help you memorize the exact timing of when you can jump, when you can strafe, and what will slow you down the most. There's a lot of tutorials online to learn how to b-hop. Who knows, you might just hit the perfect b-hop clip of 2018. At number 3, we have boosts. Boosts are not only useful for individual positioning and spacing between you and enemies, but it requires practice and teamwork along with it. Planning with your teammates to use certain boosts will test your timing, your movement, and teamwork ability if you want to be the most efficient with it. Really challenge yourself to try new boost spots, find new boost spots, and take your enemy by surprise. Slap them down and make it look sexy.
Olafmeister is still waiting. The patience game coming. I can spot them coming out of Squeak door as well. He's here. He sees them down there. Straight headshot. They have no idea. Smith's looking confused and dazed, and there's going to be a follow-up headshot. Olafmeister, you've got to be kidding me. Takes down Hiroshima as well.
At number 2 is Jiggle Peeking. Jiggle Peeking is the ultimate fake out against oppers, and it's a very, very useful tactic at that. When done well, Jiggle Peeking is when you can very quickly peek a corner and then pull back behind cover without getting shot. It's a great way to save yourself from being an easy op kill, much like strafe jumping. And you'll really notice that pros jiggle peek all the time, and it's a great way to clear corners with as low risk as possible. The lower risk and same reward. At number 1, we have masking sounds. This is probably the highest tier tip on this list, and something that's really tough to practice and execute in game sometimes. Masking a sound usually takes the form of throwing a flash or smoke while dropping from a high position to throw your enemies off and catch them by surprise. This is more useful, especially when playing against more talented and higher level players who have a trained ear and really rely on their hearing ability, because this is some next level mind games to them. A lot of the time they'll rely on their hearing to know whether you've changed your positions or not. And if you mask a sound while jumping down from a higher position and they don't see or hear you, this will cause them to act as if you're somewhere you're not, which I think goes without saying. You can now easily get the jump on them. It'll make them scratch their heads because nobody is truly used to being Kung Fu Kenny'd. Okay, yes, I think I've made my references in the videos much more obvious than I have in the past, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. The reason I do that is because I want to start making videos on my personal channel, mainly surrounding music. I like to add in little references to some of my favorite artists. Today, if you couldn't tell, the artist I was referencing throughout the video was Kendrick Lamar, because he's my favorite. If you want to hang out and talk about music though, you can follow me on Twitter at BradenVG. Thank you so much. And as well as that, you can send me questions to answer for this portion of the video, which is today sponsored by CSGO Empire. Make sure to check out their Twitter if you're interested in consistent and pretty amazing giveaways. Empire got me the hookup with a new betting run. If you guys didn't know, we were doing a series on Empire, seeing how much profit I can make, and it ended up that after I took a break, I came back and decided to not make any profit and in fact lose everything. First question is, are you going to do a face reveal? I don't think I will on this channel. I think I'll probably save that for my personal channel if I end up doing that. I mean, my face is on stuff, but I've never done like a video with my face moving because I'm talking. We're going to figure out a good bet here. We're gonna go 73 on you know what, we're gonna put it on CT because it's always the same thing twice in a row apparently. What is the lowest rank you've ever been in CS? I think my first rank was Silver Elite Master, so I think that's the lowest I've ever been. See guys, we got a new betting run, and right off the bat we're already making profits. I'm just gonna bet 6 on I don't know, we'll put it on here just for fun because I want to get that even number. Do you know the way? I know the I don't need you to tell me the way, okay? I don't need you, no mo. All right, next thing is we're gonna put 40 on T. What do you edit with? I edit videos using Adobe Premiere Pro. Boys, we're doing so much better than we have been. Look at us, look at us. I'm gonna ruin it all, but 30 on T, let's go. Last question is, what is your inventory worth? Last time I checked, it was somewhere around $200, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we did it, are you kidding me? Look at us. Look at us go. I'm excited. Make sure to stay tuned until the end of each video if you want to keep up with this betting run, which is so far going incredibly well. Follow me on Twitter if you want to hang out, maybe see my face if you're interested in that, and talk music. Also, make sure to keep a lookout for what artist I throw references into the next video. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of the video. My name is Braden, and I will see you in the next one.